Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. Um, there's a interesting thing that's going on with. I know Mercury is still retrograde, and I'm getting some feedback in a way that I don't understand. Where it's like the guests I had on before, so I don't know what's going on actually. But anyway, thank you for joining us. I am astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, and this is Live with Lloyd. Is do this. Let me see something here. One thing about live, I can't see myself. That's weird. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. It is April. It's over already. March is come and gone. It seemed like a long month, but it's come and gone. I kind of don't know what's going on. I know Mercury's retrograde. I don't want to use no excuses, but for some reason I'm having some sound issues. Although I can see from my view that her mic is unencumbered. You know what I'm saying? It's anyway. Let me continue. Then we'll see what happens. Anyway, today's show is sponsored by UJuice, and you just go to Livet Store, LIVETSTORE.com. That's LIVETSTORE.com to order your juices. They're wonderful. They're the most refreshing, all straight from Trinidad and Tobago. It's just amazing. Also, we're sponsored by Nicholas Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street, over 50 years of being in business. They're going to have an event on Friday, which I will be mentioning later on after the show. Also, Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. And I will explain, she's having another feature, which I'll explain after the show. And the same for our newest sponsor, Numerolytics, okay, with Queen Bee. And she was a guest on the show the other day. And I think we had no problems with the audio. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, before I do, let me tell you the forecast for today. It is April the 2nd of 2025, not 2024. See, anyway, the sun is in Aries. The moon is in Gemini. That's for sure. It's a 4 universal month, a 5 universal week, a 6 universal day. So for Taurus or Libra, which is my guess, who happens to be a beautiful Leo lady, or those that are born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, this is your day. Anyway, here we go. We are going to see what we're going to do. We're going to bring on my very special guest. This lady is the one, I would say, the most premier cardologist on the planet. Seriously. I mean, you got some ones, but she's the best of the best. And she has written no less than 6-7 books within 6 months. And I have them all here to prove it too. I have all my books. I'm gonna tell you, but you'll see them on the screen. And because of having this wonderful guest on in the past, a lot of people now are familiar with their cards, whether they're diamonds, spades, clubs, or hearts. I think hearts are babies, clubs are teenagers, diamonds are adults, and the spades are the elders, if I'm listening closely. All right. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna see what we're gonna do. How you doing, Nina?
Great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but for those, if you can't hear, please let us know, or if you know how to resolve this. I don't know. Let me put it right there. Okay. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Okay. Nina, how are you doing? First of all.
I'm great. I'm great.
Okay. Um, let's see. I'm just interesting. A lot of people have tuned in already. Okay. What happened? What happened with your writing? You just cranked out some books like nothing, like AI. It was like interesting.
Well, it's in my head and it's been in my head for years. And I have now, I'm able to use AI to format them, to, edit and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have that, I don't have a third party person. So that's what makes it so easy. AI edits it and makes it. So, yeah.
Well, I tell you this, we're going to talk about each of the books, but your forte is Cardology. Did you know when you were coming up in New York City and Brooklyn and all that if somebody says, Lord, you be a numerologist, I'd say, yeah, right. Probably if somebody said you be one of the most premier, okay, somebody says, make sure I don't open something. I'm trying to get some assistance off. Let me see. YouTube is open somewhere on a show. Do I have any YouTube on my channel? No, I don't have any YouTubes on here. I have nothing open with YouTube on it. Okay, Queen Bee, I don't know what that is. But anyway, once you kind of retired from what you did, how'd you get into Cardology?
Well, you know the story that my dad introduced me to you many years ago, numerology, and then I started, astrology, like when I was in my teens, and it's just a natural procession. I found a book that my cousin had on the Destiny cards, and I was hooked. I didn't have anybody to talk to, but I read that book and I just stayed in it. And then Aquarius Maximus, who was my daughter, she started getting into the cards, and it became Cardology. And this is how we just made it our own, So
I think it's amazing, and you published books in the past, but this is a whole new set of books for a whole new set of experiences,
And all written with the cards.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Numerology, astrology, and the cards. Yes, sir. They all are written. Yeah, that's why it's so easy for me.
Well, I tell you, when I got the books, I'm saying, I was thinking about maybe 1 or 2 books, but to get 6 out of 7 books, I'm saying like, wow, it's just amazing. Here's what we're going to do before we take some comments, and please, for those of you who know your card numbers, fine, but you need to see this beautiful cardologist in action. She does it with such ease, and such finesse. I says like, wow, how you do this? I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed, and I've been around, but this is good. Okay. So everybody, for those of you who want to call in and give, if you know your cards, and if not, we just give the birthday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, we have this Sharon West. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she's October 13th. She's a Libra like you. So what kind of card would she be? And how you do this?
October the 13th. That makes her a 9 of clubs. That's the card of Cardology. That's like crazy. The first person that comes on is the card of Cardology.
Really?
Yeah, 9 of clubs is the card of Cardology.
I knew I liked Sharon West for a reason. Okay. So so she's a club, but she's a 9 of club. That shades it, isn't it, from the rest of the club family?
Yeah, it changes, adding on that 9 of clubs. Empress is a 9 of clubs. Empress Rel, she's a 9 of clubs.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, very interesting, very complicated, Nine clubs is a complicated. She knows it's her cards. She knows complicated. Think about universal, because nines are universal and then clubs. It's like they just big energy. They know a lot. They're very tenacious. They have a nine of spades and Mercury, so that compounds it. Because we know that Mercury is how we communicate, and clubs are ruled by Mercury. So they are very, they have a lot of, that background is really tweaking me.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. I know I don't. Do you have a YouTube open on your end? I don't have a YouTube open on my end.
Let me see. Do I have YouTube open on my end?
Was the second StreamYard open? No.
No.
No, I'm looking at mine. I just have one.
Yeah, I have the one we're on.
Or the tab. The tab.
Yeah, some echo for sure.
Yeah. That's from my phone. See, because I got my phone on. But then how can people hear you? That's what I'm concerned about.
So if you mute it, you still can't hear me?
Okay, hold on. Let me try that. Can you hear?
Can't hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, it's only through the phone.
Okay, I took the mute off. Maybe that will help. I don't know what let me say this. Somebody said better. Okay. Let me put this up on the computer, maybe away from me as much as I can. I hear the echo too. And we see, we shouldn't be talking about no echoes, okay? So, and now, now here the delay seems to be worse. Let me see something here. Okay, I turned my volume all the way down. Can you hear me? No, that's because I turned it down a bit, but I want to make sure that people are able to hear you. Hang up the phone. You're on the phone with. Your phone? Well, the only way I can hear you is since we're not able to get through with the visuals. Then I mean, the way it was normally, I had to call you so we could hear what's saying. Because see, now I can't hear you. Okay, I hung up the phone. I can't hear you. Your mic is not muted on my end. It's not muted. I don't edit mic settings. Let me see, automatically adjust mics. Okay. Automatically adjust mics. Okay. Echo cancellations. Okay. Got that. Reduce noise background. Now you can still hear me, right, my dear? Okay, hold on. You try calling you back again. I think King Simon and whatnot is trying to help or whatever. Okay, I did hang up the phone. Yeah. Simon was saying you may have to come back on, but what they don't know is we did this twice already. Uncheck cancellation. Okay. Phone call will make it worse. So we was uncheck. This is the most interesting thing. Hold on one second. Edit mic. Okay. She is going to try to come back on, everybody. Well, anyway, hit like button in the meantime. And until she does, I tell you this, let's say, for example, we don't work this out. I'm going to have her back. I was just going to be on Monday, but we're going to make sure we have her back. Let's see. Okay, is she on the stage? Diamond 8. Add. Okay, I'll see. But anyway, while she's trying to get back on, Simon just sent me his latest flyer, which I'll air on Monday, since it is. Hold on 1 second. I can't hear you. And you check your volume on your computer, right? And I check my volume. Now, we should not spend the show talking about can we hear each other, all right? Here's what we see. I want to show her books. Let me say this. I'm going to call you. I want you to talk about the books, which I mean, I'm not going to say anything, and then we're going to have you back on Monday. Fair enough? Hold on. This is like, I mean, I know they talk about live radio, but like, yo, this is like, see, we're going to have an engineer or something in here at some point. Okay. All righty. Let me see. Okay, speak, Nina.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to come back Monday. Call me after the show so I can help you troubleshoot. Okay, good. Thank you. I will.
King Simon says probably on my side. I don't know where I could.
And the guest I had on Monday, everything went just as nice.
Yeah, I went out. All I did was click your link and follow the link.
And the guest before Monday's guest last Wednesday went through the same thing.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Wednesday rules Mercury, which is retrograde. So I'm saying I'm not trying to find no excuses, you know what I'm saying, Nina? But like, yo, this is crazy. But anyway, let's talk about your books, because we're gonna get some mileage out of this. That's what we're gonna do. Okay.
Ralph said we sound better.
Good. Now, ever since November, you cranked out some books. On November the 16th, which is Aquarius Maximus' birthday, you published the book Reiki. Tell us about this book.
Well, I'm a Reiki master, so I wrote this book because so many people ask me questions about Reiki, and I want every Black woman on the planet to know how to do Reiki on themselves. So this is why I wrote this book, because it explains the whole process.
What is Reiki?
Reiki, Reiki is healing. It's energetic healing. Reiki, where you put the hands on your body and you move the energy through. Reiki. It's they say it's an ancient from, Asia, but it's really from Africa, and it's the laying on of hands.
As in all things. Actually, I don't even know why we surprised, Nina, okay? I don't even know why we surprised, okay? Everything comes from the motherland.
Yep.
Okay, now, then in December, less than a month later, you came out with your Cardology planner for 2025. It's a journal. Tell us about it.
That's my yearly. I make a planner with all of the month, each month. And you get it, you write down the card of the day. You follow throughout the year. This is how I learned Cardology. So this is why I created the planner, because I learned by writing down every life path.
Good. All right. Now then, in January of 2025, unveiling 9 Ether. What is this about?
Well, remember they had the conference that I was with King Simon and Brother Rich. So it was a 9 Ether. So this is the book telling about, we're 9 Ether. So I was talking about our coils and all of that stuff, our hair, all of the things that make us naive.
Okay, I think that's interesting. Now, all these books are available on Amazon.
And my website.
Yes, we'll show you about it in a moment. And then in February, you published the Affirmation Journal. This is, I love this one. This is a big book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 365 days where every day you write it, you read your affirmation and you write it every day.
Wow. And I like it because you don't have it like it starts January 1st. You just say day 1, day 2. So whatever you start, so whether you start today, that's going to be day 1. If you start in the middle of next month, that's going to be day 1, and you do it all together. Now, what inspired this affirmation journal?
Well, I did the rooms on Clubhouse, and this was the overall theme that we needed something every day to ground us. And, that's what affirmations do. Affirmations give you start off your day with your affirmations. They ground you and help you get through the day. So this is where this came.
Okay. Then this one here is, I like this one. This is your, how do you got it? It's your strongholds.
Yeah, stronghold.
Now it says a journey through Mars and Saturn in astrology.
Yeah, because we know that Mars is what we use, is what we do, but then Saturn is the consequences. So a lot of us have strongholds and we don't understand that Mars is passionate. So we'll start things and we'll, it could be anything. It could be an addiction. It could be a relationship. And then Saturn is the karma attached to it. So this book is about breaking strongholds.
Excellent.
And it's dedicated to my son, who's a big Aries, and his birthday is April the 4th. Big Aries, big Mars. This is his book.
Yeah, that makes it. That's my Angelo's birthday too.
Mm-hmm.
And then your last one that you did just this last month, is less than a month, on March 18th, has been released. It's called The Deck of Realities. What is this about?
Well, this is a metaphysical journey into us opening up to all things cardology, numerology, and astrology. This is a journey of showing in this time where we are that all of the things, the drama and stuff that is happening is blocking this. This is our awakening. So our ancestors, there's a new code that's being written. And this is why I wrote that book, because this is telling us how we are coming online.
Good. I have some people that gave their card. We're gonna do this as much as possible, but what I'm gonna do is this. Mercury ends officially on Monday the 7th. I'm gonna have you back a week from today on the 9th when we so-called out of it. Okay? That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
So we don't have to kind of like go around the barn with this. Because we have some viewers already that gave their information, like my brother DS and Cosmic Sunflower said, I'm so happy I missed Miss Nina's take on Cardology, which is like, this is interesting. One Purple Rain says, I made it. Let me see this time. He says, I made it for this great show with Lloyd and Nina Dunham tonight. Thank you so much, Purple Rain. Much appreciated. And Empress Rel, you're absolutely right. And please hit it's free. It's free. Y'all ain't got to spend no money. Okay. I don't. Where do you think we get as a people this let me, give me, can you spare? Is it free?
It is, for me, it is a lack mentality. It's like you don't understand what reciprocity is. You don't understand that we are energetic beings and we have always got to be circulating this energy. It has to be moving because it's a circle of life. if you appreciate something, you in back in the day, it's like you give alms or something, right? You have to give something in that energetic field. And this is simple. And I think it's the most difficult thing is to, what is it that prevents you from liking, sharing, leaving a comment? I don't know. That's social media. I'm not a social media person, so it's hard, but I find it to be very bizarre.
Not only that, but pardon the pun, it's expensive too. It's expensive because, and yet our purchasing power collectively as Black people in this nation is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is why everybody moves into our communities and build up the businesses and everything like that. And then we still starving in the midst of plenty. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, honestly, it's that because, and see, this is what Reiki does. Because that blocked energy that is inside of you, Reiki will move it. So you won't be, you won't, that stagnant that you feel, that Reiki will move it through you. It will open up all of your chakras.
Good. Here's my buddy here, DS. He says he's an Ace of Diamond. He's November 6th.
I want to get back to the 9 of Clubs because we didn't finish her. Can I do that?
Please do. And my apologies here.
So I'm going to look at the United States spread because the United States is the collective energy, and the 9 of Clubs is definitely a very important card in the scheme of things. But this year, she is displacing the 2 of Clubs. Now, for the 9, now think about a 9 and a 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this could be a year of a lot of communication. But as a 9, think about how 9s are processing things and moving through things. But the relationships that she's coming up on with people could be a lot of pulling from her. Because, 2s want union.
Mm-hmm.
And the 9 of Clubs is a very, it's a very sensuous card. It's the card of sex.
Mm-hmm.
So the unions and stuff that she has will be very interesting this year because the 2 of Clubs, for all intents and purposes, is an androgynous card and it's Uranian by nature. So she may be really having some very interesting connections with people this year in the collective. So she wants to be mindful of that because, like I said, the 9 of Clubs is a very attractive energy, but it can blow up really fast. So she wants to, and this is a 9 of Hearts year. This isn't a year to start new relationships. If you're in a relationship, but you don't want to start new relationships in a 9 year, right?
Well, it does mean endings. On the other hand, it means dreams fulfilled. But this is a 9 universal year. So does that affect the 9 of diamonds, the 9 of clubs, the 9 of hearts, the 9 of spades? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but it's a 9 of Hearts year, and a 9 of Hearts is double Saturn. So anything that you start this year is going to be karmic.
So in other words, it's better that they started it last year before they got into this year.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you want to deal with. If you don't mind dealing with karmic relationships, that's fine. But 9 of Hearts is wish fulfillment. But this is an ending year. Next year is a new beginning, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to take that karma in with you next year. So any relationships that you start this year, they're going to have karmic undertones.
Interesting. So people need to be more mindful then rather than just jump into something. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you don't, as you progress through this year, because we're just starting the 4th month, is when things are going to start to heat up and make more sense. So you can't say, well, I didn't really want to start this relationship. It's too late. It's already started, right?
Yeah. Simon just texted me. I think he says you can do it through your phone. I guess if you call me and you're talking on your phone, you shouldn't get an echo.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna give her a couple of minutes. She's gonna call me right back. Thanks, Simon. This is nice. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
No, still an echo.
No. And Simon is trying to call me too. Hold on 1 second, Nina. He hung up a second. Okay. So anyway, as you were saying, Nina, can you hear me?
I can't. I was holding on. Wait, hold on. Simon is calling me.
Okay. So everybody, this is as they say, welcome to Live Radio. See, this is not one of the top dogs in communications, but this is good. This is and I like the fact of how sometimes you got to do things and everything is not perfect. And I make no claims of walking on water, but I tell you this: what since she's doing that, let me just go. I will be right with you. Can you hear? Let me see. Okay, I still have her on. She's talking to Simon. Anyway, okay, she's gonna call me back. I'm gonna switch over to me, and then I'll be waiting for you. All right, everybody, let me tell you this. What I'm going to do is let me tell you about some of the sponsors, go into more details until she gets back to me. And first of all, really with the U juice, I'm telling you, this is a product that you should really have. It is the best tasting. All the drinks are like good. And when it's got a chill on it, it's just amazing. The only thing is I wish the bottle was larger. Okay, let's see. Did she call? Okay. Okay, I have no idea yet what is going on. Let me see. Can you call me? Can you call one more time? And after that, we're going to do it next Wednesday. Nina?
I tried it. I went through, Simon told me to go through on the, but it didn't work.
Okay.
You still couldn't hear me.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put up your banner, and you're going to be back next Wednesday for sure. And we're going to start
Somebody
this.
said I sound clear now. I hear feedback.
I'm hearing a little feedback too, but if it works with people, let me put up your banner. In the meantime, how can people get in touch with this beautiful lady? All righty. Nina Dunham, she is a cardologer. She's a teacher, lecturer, author. She's a wonderful mother, a wonderful God, a wonderful spirit. I didn't have all the space to put all that in there. Her YouTube is Diamond8, DIAMONDEIGHT. Is that because you're 8 of diamonds? Okay, good. Yep. Good. And she's also on TikTok, Nina Dunham. Her Instagram is diamond_8. And you still do Clubhouse Monday through Sunday?
No.
You don't do Clubhouse anymore, or is it?
No, I don't do Clubhouse no more.
Okay, so on Wednesday, we'll make sure that is now taken off. And Cash App, of course, so you can continue the good work. That's $Uranus 157.
Yes.
Okay, that is good.
King Simon says share the link with him. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do all that either. See, Simon, that's you know, the thing I love about Simon is he kind of gives you direction and then he lets you kind of learn the ropes, which I think is great. I learned a lot of things, PowerPoint through Simon, everything, you know, StreamYard through Simon. So but he's just very skillful at this, bless his soul.
Yeah, he said send him the link, but I don't know how to send a link. I'm looking now.
Oh, I see what we're saying. Invite. Oh, see, hold up. Let me see something. Let me see something. I think I'd have to send the link through mine. Well, here's what we're gonna do. Let me see. Um, you know what?
What?
Instead of going through all of this, in all fairness to you, let us reschedule this for Wednesday. And we you know what we'll do is, instead of coming on close to it, we'll start at about 6:30 to make sure everything is okay. No, because let me tell you, last Wednesday, the guests I had on, before we actually got on the air, I could hear her, she could hear me, no problems. Soon as I get on, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
So I had to reschedule her for, I think, the 30th of the month, something like that. But I had to reschedule her. So
And you totally can't hear me.
no, I can't. I hear you through the phone, and then I hear the little vibration, the echo, and stuff like that. So I went to the section where it talks about the microphone, and then where it says to edit the mic and reduce the echo. I cut that off. It's actually designed to have less background. I clicked all of them, and nothing seems to work. Okay. Let me see. You talk again? No, see.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm. That's what we're going to do, dear. All right. So everybody, please get in touch with Nina Diamond and tune in next Wednesday, a week from today. We'll be out of Mercury retrograde, although there'll be a little kind of residual, but we'll be out of Mercury retrograde. And then this way we can do it. Because I do want to give this lady justice. This lady is really the best. She's the queen of this. I mean, I'd say she's a king, but she's a woman, so she's the queen. Okay.
He said share the link in the chat.
Share the link in the chat. Who, Simon?
Yeah.
In the chat.
I don't know how to do that.
Let me see something. Hold on.
I don't even see the link. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. There it goes. I'm sorry, Simon. I'm copying it. I'm sorry. I just figured. Okay, there it goes. Is it letting me paste? It's not even letting me paste it. Okay. Copy. Okay, I sent it to you. I sent you the link.
Okay, we will see. We will see. Let me see until hopefully we get this straight. What about December 6th, as we was talking about, who was the Ace of Diamonds before we interrupted him? Because
Okay,
we
so
went
the
back to
Ace of
Nine of Clubs.
Diamonds. Okay. So Ace of Diamonds this year, let's see what you got. Oh, it's a very interesting year for you. The Ace of Diamonds has the Five of Hearts and Venus, which makes you interesting, right? But you're displacing your Venus this year. So relationships, if you're in a relationship, this is going to be a year that's going to push you out there to have fun. You know, it's emotional. It's going to be definitely a fun year. But we know that that's Saturn, Venus. So it could also be a time where you feel like running from relationships. So
as against running towards relationships. That's what you're saying.
So you just got to be mindful that, this is a time where you're going to be tested. But I would say have fun. I would say go bowling, go riding bikes. If you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, don't do a relationship.
Leave well enough alone. Okay.
Now, the Ace of Diamonds, you are good wanderers. So this Five of Hearts this year you're gonna want freedom.
Interesting.
You want to be free.
Let's I'm gonna bring Simon on a second. Simon.
Yes, can you hear me?
See, I can hear Simon. See what I'm saying?
That's what I was trying to tell her, to go through her phone, not her computer, and press the link. Press the link on your phone. Go through the link on your phone. This is the phone I'm doing, so you can hear me too. There.
So you say sign out of this and do it separate.
Sign out the phone, sign out of your computer and come on through your phone, through the email on your phone, and then press the same link you just sent me. You understand? All right. Yeah, Lord, you can hear me, right?
I hear you loud and clear, brother.
No echo, right? No
My
echo,
man,
right?
how you doing? How you doing, boss?
I'm good. I'm here, family. How you doing?
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Hold up. Maybe wait a minute.
She gonna do it. She doing it.
I'm here.
Nina,
Can you hear
This
me?
is,
that's it.
that's it. I'm gone. Y'all have a good time.
Love you, Simon. Thank you.
Love y'all. Love you. Go ahead.
Peace, love you, peace. Oh wow. Who
Okay.
knew?
No, that I'm telling you, Simon is my go-to person. So now we will continue. So we're gonna spill a little over, so you don't have to go back through this. And we're gonna kind of. So this is great. This is great. Now it's this is great. Okay. Hope, where you go? Where you go? Where did she go? Did I speak too soon? Hello. Okay. Anyway, until she gets back on, I'm going to tell you about some of the things we're going to be doing, my sponsors too. As I was telling you about is U-Juice, which is it's a heck of a, really, let me do the banners a second. Okay. U-Juice is really an excellent product, and I mean that in all seriousness. And I do thank all the people that are the sponsors of the show. And what I'm going to do is, let's see. Do we have Nina?
Yeah, I'm backstage. You see me? Oh my
Okay,
God.
I have no, boy, this is, now talk about an original show. Okay, if this is not an original show, I don't know. But
And today is crazy, right? Because today is the six of spades.
I was
And
going
the
to ask
six,
you in my head, I was going to say,
yeah.
what is today's date by
Yes, the
Cardology?
six of spades, and six of spades. It's karmic. It is one of the most karmic cards in the deck because you know sixes are ruled by Venus, and it's just a card where you're gonna learn a lot, but it does live like this. So you can just see it. It just oh my God, and it's my Saturn, so I can see it. I see it in the cards. This is my Saturn this year. So yeah, I'm working.
Well, we can get to some of the comments then.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to work backwards. Goldie Lee is born July 18th. She says she's a 10 of clubs. Is that true?
July the 18th.
And
Yep.
by the way, as LNW says, King Simon to the rescue. Yes.
Yes, I know, right? That's
Yeah,
what he
God bless you.
do,
That's my
right?
buddy. Okay.
That's what he do.
So I know she is a fire sign. She's a water sign with a fire number. And this year is a very important year for her. She's in a 7th personal year, which is the year that governs the law of attraction. And whatever the case is.
From iPad 3.
Okay, we got something else going on.
No, that was that lady. I can't say her name because she'll talk again.
Oh, okay, got
You
you.
know, the one in the background that be minding people business.
Okay, yes, there's always somebody like that. I don't know
Her
why.
name starts with the ALE. You know what I mean? I can't say it because she'll talk again.
Oh, okay. So what about Goldie Lee? She's a 10 of clubs. Now 10 of clubs are the teenagers, you said, right?
Well, clubs are teenagers. Ten of clubs is a very interesting card because this is crazy. The challenging card because it's Jack of Spades, which is King Simon's card. Ten of clubs is a crown card. It sits in a crown, and they're master teachers and master coaches. But they sit in trans Pluto, so their life definitely deals with karmic lessons and lots of transformations, and they're definitely something. If you displace the ten of clubs, the time that you're sitting in the ten of clubs house is going to be, it's initiation time for you. So this is definitely a very powerful person here. And this year in the collective, you're displacing the King of Diamonds. So this is a year you got to step up. Your business accoutrement is got to be at 100 because the King of Diamonds is the master of all finances, all business, all things in that realm. So you're sitting in Mars Venus right now. So this year you're going to, and this is where it's difficult because you're a club and the King of Diamonds is a diamond. And clubs and diamonds is where we can see the generational divide. Clubs are teenagers and diamonds are they're going to be the supervisors. So this year you're going to be placed in the situations where you're going to have to be uncomfortable. That's the bottom line. This is a leveling up year in the collective because it's time for you to step into your mastery. The business that you wanted to start, the things that you wanted to do, you're going to have to do it. And what's so crazy is your Saturn card is your Mercury. So you feel it. You know what you're supposed to be doing. So now you gotta do it. Because you know
Okay.
it's not any way possible that you don't know because you feel it. And then your challenging karma card is your Venus, the three of hearts. So to the Queen of Clubs. So this is about self-worth. It's about having fun. Your relationships this year, you may, if you're in a relationship, you may be looking at it differently. It's like you want freedom, but you don't necessarily want to lose a relationship. So you got a very interesting year. You're sitting in Mars. So
Okay.
you're going to do some work this year.
Okay. Now I got this person whose birthday is today, April 2nd, Marvin Gaye's birthday, and a couple other famous people of note. So
Mhm.
you said today represents cardology.
No, today's the six of spades.
Okay, so he's a six of spades. Oh, that's right. There
Mm-hmm.
was the clubs. There was
Mm-hmm.
the club to
9 of clubs, yeah.
the nine of clubs. Now, so what about this person here?
Well, you see what we just went through. That's their life. Right? The six of spades. He said they're like, I know that's right, right? It's definitely an interesting year for you because you're displacing the three of spades. And we know that the three, the six, and the nine, when they're together, that's magic. So this is a magical year for you. It's a year of you ciphering. So being very creative, putting yourself out. You're sitting in Saturn, Jupiter this year. So this is saying you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. This is saying you got to put yourself outside. And the challenging karma card is the six of diamonds, which is one of your archetypes. So this is a year you want to make sure your credit is you want to make sure your credit and your word and all of those kind of things are above board because those are the challenges that you're going to have this year.
Okay, what about this person here? C, I guess Cynthia W. 1031.
Is that Halloween 1031?
Yes, it is the Halloween day. Yes,
Yeah. So your four hearts, very
hearts of babies.
yeah, babies. And this year, this year is a very good year for you because you're displacing the eight of hearts, which is your Mars card. Four of hearts is a very charismatic card. Y'all really know how to, if you know how to put yourself out there, y'all very, very attractive people with a lot of charisma. So this is a year where I would really step out there in faith. You got the seven of hearts sitting in your house, and that's a faith card. So you got to have faith, the grain of a mustard seed this year. It's like the things that are happening, they're going to test your resolve and see if you really want them. It's like you got to have it. They say it's a card of boundaries, but the boundaries are you understanding boundaries. You know what I mean? Because what does it mean, boundaries? So you have to understand what boundaries are before you can have good boundaries. But this year is a year where you want to put yourself out there. That business that you want to start really looking at that and seeing if this is the time for you to really start preparing for it.
Now,
This
I
is a
will say
very
this.
good year.
I know we're supposed to go an hour. We're gonna go over, so we're gonna kind of make up for lost time because I mean, a lot of people are on. Is that okay with you? Can you do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm
Very
good.
good. Because the person says they said they are January the 7th, and they said they believe they are a seven of spades. And if so, what does that mean to this person?
January the 7th. Yeah, that's a power card. You know, that's one of those power cards. You one of those power people. Now, by no strange coincidence, your transformation card is me, the Eight of Diamonds. So you here for success, but you're a spiritual card. You're what we call the ancestor card. You know, spades definitely deal with the ancestors, and then because sevens are ruled by Neptune, we look at those as those spiritual cards where you have a spiritual connection to ancestor money. It's like you don't do mundane. The mundane isn't the place where you want to spend a lot of time in. You want to be as close to the vest as you possibly can. So this year in the collective, what's happening with you? This year, you sitting, ooh, I'm just saying. You're sitting in your moon this year. So this is a great year for you when you think about how you're going to discover things, because you're displacing what the 10 of clubs sits in, which is trans Pluto, but it's your moon. So when you're in Pluto, it's not necessarily the place that you want to be, but it's your moon. So the things that have happened to you are going to feel different. It's like you may have to, there are certain things that you're going to have to do, but they're going to feel different because this is your moon card. So you're going to be supported by the divine feminine. You know, people around you are going to be I would milk it if I was you. People are going to be extremely supportive of you this year
Very
because
good.
you're going to be tested.
What about Pamela Terry, 612?
Pamela is 612. Let me see. So 612 makes you a five of June 12th, right? Makes you
Yeah.
a five of diamonds. Ooh, I wish she was up here to tell me how she feeling.
What does that mean?
She's sitting in my house this year. And I'm an 8 and she's a 5. So how do you think she feels, Mr. Strayhorn?
Interesting, I would say, to say the least.
Yeah, you're a 5 and you want to break free, and you sitting in an 8. So yeah,
And
this
eight
is a
is more
very
conservative too.
yeah. So the fives, you're Saturnian by nature because you're Saturn Neptune, but you're sitting in the sun. So that's saying that over the last 4 years, the work that you've done now, you're supposed to be reaping the rewards of it. That's the bottom line. This is a very influential year for you. And then after the year that we talk about is from July to July. We're looking at the United States. So it's a very influential year for you, very spiritual year, but you're going to come online on July the 5th. It's going to be real, real. So I need you to hunker down. I need you to do everything that you possibly can do to ground yourself. You know, fives, they don't like grounding. But my advice is to you is, and I'm not talking about walking in grass, because that's people talk about that all the time. If you think that's that easy, I don't know what to tell you. This is serious grounding. This is emotional grounding. This is spiritual grounding. This is pulling all of you back to you, right? Because on July the 5th, 2025, it's going to get real for you.
All righty. Dr. Cynthia, she is January the 12th.
Oh, that's my mother's birthday, right? January 12th. I mean, that's my mother's birthday, January 12th. She's a two of spades. One of the bar none most spiritual cards in the deck, not because she's my mother, but it's a two, and it's dealing with Neptune and spades and all of that kind of stuff.
And
So
it's
it's
interesting, the name Cynthia adds up to 20, which is a 2. Go ahead.
wow. Wow, and you're important and connected to the collective because you're the one you show up for us when it comes down to all things connections in the United States. This year, what's important is you're sitting in that house with and you're Mars too. So you're another person. If you're working on business, or it should be changes that are happening for you are happening kind of backwards, maybe I would say, for lack of a better word. Excuse me, but you being initiated. I mean, you being initiated in all quarters, because jacks are the initiates. And the jack of clubs is sitting in your house, and that's a Pluto relationship. So, yeah, I would say this is a very interesting year for you. Very interesting year, but you're going to have to put yourself outside. You're going to have to really look at the things that you desire But you gotta, this is, and I see a lot of this in what I'm looking in the spread. There's a lot of grounding here. So connections and stuff like that that you're gonna have. You want to be mindful of where you step at, because people will want from you, but doesn't necessarily mean that every opportunity is going to lead you where you want to go, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Now, this is Quintella. She is born the same day as Empress Rel, January 31st. And what was Empress Rel again and Quintella?
And Empress Bell is a nine of
We was
clubs.
explaining all this between echoes. So if you can kind of review that a second, that'll be appreciated.
Yes, a nine of clubs, another nine of clubs, and we talked about the nine of clubs this year
Yeah, she
in
just
the
said it
United
too.
States. Yeah, nine of clubs in this year. So definitely a lot of connections, wanting to be, it's a definitely, nines are about celebrations. And you have a 10 of hearts and Mercury. So this is a big year for you. If people inviting you out, you want to go out and celebrate. All nine of clubs want to celebrate this year. There are going to be markers that come, but yeah, you got interesting years. I mean, it's crazy because everybody that I spoke to is connected in some way in the United States spread. They have, they're bouncing off of each other. So this year you have the Jack of Diamonds as your Pluto card. So when you think about the Jack of Diamonds, we're talking about the collective. You don't want to be in Pluto with the collective. This means a lot of people, what Pluto is looking at all things that the United States does. Like Donald Trump, all of a sudden, you would think about all of the things that he is doing would be coming from your card. He's going down into people's pockets. He's affecting how people do things. This will have something to do because a nine of clubs represents universal. So this year, for me, for you, as a nine of clubs, just looking at this, I really think this is a year for grounding for you. Because when we talk about the United States, when you go out, say you go to work tomorrow and you get an assignment, the assignment is going to be big, right? You're going to be like, oh, okay, that's not my job description. They're going to be like, yes, it is. It is your job description now. So anything that you do right now is just going to grow, right? Because you're going down into Pluto with the master. Does that make sense? Ooh.
That's interesting. This person here, Mr. Mel, is or Melissa. She's born April 13th. So what would she be? April 13th, 1984.
Oh, April 13th is my card, the Eight of Diamonds. Eight of Diamonds, Aries. Ooh, that's a powerhouse right there. So, the Eight of Diamonds this year, what would I say for you? And you got a birthday coming up. So this year, the Eight of Diamonds is sitting. Where are you sitting? Your crown card. You're displacing the nine of diamonds, Mr. Strayhorn's card. And this is so interesting, right? Because last year the nine of diamonds was in your house. So this year, you think about all of the things that you've accumulated and been working. And this is about resources, right? Because we know the diamonds are about resources. This
Mhm.
is supposed to be leading you to living your best life. But there's some things that you got to change. There's some things that some patterns and things that, because this is Mars Uranus. So there are some things that you can't, and I know this because I'm talking to me right now. I have had so many changes since July of last year. Things have been snatched from me. And I know that it's preparing me because Uranus represents our hopes and wishes. So when it's time for me to let it go, I let it go. Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah.
Um, that's interesting. Okay, let's do this person here. Mo 369, November 19th, 77. She said, they says, what say our dear queen? Thank you. Yes.
You're November the 19th.
77.
You're Ace of Clubs, which is There are certain cards that you don't want to give brief information to because they carry a lot of weight, and Ace of Clubs is one of those. It's a semi-fixed card, and yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
that's why we got your banner up so people can go in depth with you. That is
yeah.
exactly the point. So we will make sure. But
Yeah.
so can you,
It's a very transformative year for her. The synchronicities that she's probably having, I can imagine that work has changed for her. Whether she's starting a new job, whether she lost a job, relationships. I can see that there are things that are shaking you probably at your core this year. Right, there's things that really, this is a year that everything that you think about should be dealing with self-care. Whatever's happening around you is happening for your greater good, but I don't think it feels like that right now.
interesting? Let me ask you this question too, Nina. You know how like fire signs get along with air signs, water signs get along with earth signs. I noticed in my case when I did birthdays and people's significance, whether my folks, kids, whatever the case is, majority of the people were either diamonds like me or clubs.
Yeah.
Very few spades, a smattering of hearts. Does
Hmm.
that make sense? Do
Yeah.
which one gets along better with which one in that sense? I mean, they all
Well,
get along, but you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, because most of my family and love stuff like that is diamonds too, because iron sharpens iron, right? Clubs, they come to you for a different reason. And then, clubs help us also as diamonds to communicate differently because we communicate more about resources. We communicate when we're thinking as diamonds, we want to know what we're going to get out of it. We're going to want to know the benefit of it, and clubs are helping us to get more understanding, rather than just being caught up in the material part of it. So clubs of teenagers want to be a little bit more loose with it. Clubs get on my last nerve. I don't know about you, but they get on my
No,
nerve.
I have no problems. I just notice
And
people who
not
are
I have no
significant.
problems, but it's like I've learned the generational divide is clubs and diamonds.
Interesting.
I've learned that because that you think about clubs, they don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be told what to do.
I
So
thought
I
diamonds don't want to be told what to do.
no diamonds. No, it's not that diamonds don't want to be the diamonds. It's not that they don't want to be told what to do. Is that they have a direction where clubs don't. It's like
Uh-huh.
diamonds know about work. Clubs don't want to work.
Well, let's see because this person Armand uh Adeli Adenly he's born on June the 29th, 1999.
Yeah,
1999. He's an ace of club.
yeah, he's another ace of clubs. So same thing. This has probably been a very transformative year for you. So you want to figure out what it and like I said, explaining that the ace of clubs, I don't have the time right now to explain the background of the ace of clubs. So you can definitely hit me up for a reading. But this year, there's a lot going on for ace of clubs. Y'all have to let go of a lot of stuff. Like I said, relationship wise, job wise, it's preparing you for something else. There's a lot of transformation going on because you're dealing with the ace of spades, and the ace of spades is death and rebirth. But the ace of spades is also the archetype, what you are aspiring to be. So it's like being a fire. This is a fire year for you. It's just it is. It's a year that's going to test your resilience for sure.
Now, Smooth Jazzy want to know where do you buy the books? In fact, all the books that I showed, all the images of a book, which I'm going to review again later, is available on Amazon. So when I did all the screenshots, they all came from Amazon. And she
And
has
my website.
and a website, which we'll put on there too, but that's where it is. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now Astro. Now this is interesting. Astro Business Cardology Learning Center. Are you familiar with them?
Of course, I know who that is. That's Dr. Sue. I don't need. I know she don't have no question.
No, she says she's a queen of club and an ace of spade. Okay, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
she's a Sag. She's a because she has the her Jupiter is the Ace of Spades, so that makes her a Sag. Yes, Dr. Sue. I know Dr. Sue. You know Dr. Sue. She just got lots of aliases.
Oh, okay, got you. Sometimes we need them. Now, LNW, who is trying very hard to connect us, she is a nine of diamonds. She says, "How may this card impact growing a coaching and consulting business this year?"
Well, that's nine of diamonds. That's what y'all do. That's what y'all do. Y'all, especially the divine feminine nine of diamonds, y'all are good at that. So that's something that you would want to do. This year, you're displacing the Queen of Spades. So I would go hard because that card is a very supportive card for you, the Queen of Spades. And the Eight of Diamonds is sitting in your house. So coaching, mentoring, all of those things. And then your King of Clubs is the Mars card. So think about how you use your knowledge, with the King of Clubs. So yeah, coaching, Nine of Diamonds, y'all make excellent coaches. Y'all make excellent advisors. Y'all definitely have that sweet spot. I think the Nine of Diamonds out of all of the nines is one of the most empathetic nines. You sit in Mars, Uranus. So all of the things that the Nine of Diamonds goes through, they're able to use it. Nine of Diamonds can have a very difficult life, especially childhood. They have a seven of spades and Mercury. So that talks about their childhood and and anytime you have a seven, which is Neptune, and you got a spade, which is fire. So your childhood was fire and water.
You
So
know what? I'll say this. I can't speak for LNW, but that certainly sounds familiar to me. My childhood was very interesting. Believe me,
yeah, yeah. So
there was
and you
some
use
challenges,
it.
but it made me grow, though.
That's what I'm saying. Nine of Diamonds is one of those cards that uses that. Nine of Diamonds uses everything and everybody. It's like
Yeah,
this
maybe
is Nine of Diamonds is a resource magnet, right? Very resourceful. And like I said, coaching, I think, bar none. Because if you think about the last 4 to 5 years, you were prepared for this. Now, where you're sitting at right now is because last year you were in the sun, and this year you supposed to be hunkering down. This is a year where you step out into your mastery. So yeah, absolutely. You gotta go hard. This is from now until July. So
all right,
every July,
LNW. You heard what she said about us.
yeah, you gotta
We got
go
to go
hard.
hard.
Yeah,
And
and I've
all
been
the other
telling
nine
Lloyd,
diamonds
but
we know.
I've been telling Lloyd that for the last 4 years. If y'all been watching Lloyd's rise,
In
he's
the
been
last 4 years,
using.
things have been phenomenal too.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
kid you not. I mean, it's just like a whole sea change. It's just totally different. I can't explain it, but all I says is it's working.
yeah.
What about Camilla Knight? They are born September 12th.
September the 12th.
Yep.
Another Queen of Clubs.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're a Queen of Clubs. So this year, trials and tribulations for sure for the Queen of Clubs. You're displacing Mars. So Queen of Queens, and I have a book coming out in a couple of days. It's the Queens of. It tells about the Queens. And queens don't necessarily want to do a lot, and the Queen of Clubs is the queen of I don't want to do a lot. And this year you're sitting Mars. So the challenges of you to take initiative, of you to, really step into to what I was talking about with the Ten of Clubs, which is connected, because you're challenging karma cards, your Mercury card. So in the collective, the Queen of Clubs is going to be dealing with a whole lot of things dealing with their childhood. This is a year where you're gonna have to let go of a lot of stuff because the Three of Hearts represents your self-worth, and it's challenging you. So this is a year that you do not want to get in your feelings. This is a year where you want to step up and really use but Queen of Clubs is 4. Knowing is a knowing. So your intuition and stuff like that, you got to get fine tuned. You have your Mars card displacing you, which is a 3 of diamonds, which is Donald Trump's card. So think about the potential that you have. You don't
What
have
is
to like
Donald Trump's card again?
the 3 of diamonds.
He's a diamond too. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to like him, but because he's the president of the United States, that means you got Donald Trump potential, which is the 3 of diamonds. So you want to put yourself out there. You just, but it's difficult, like for the Queen of Clubs, because it's not a real put yourself out there kind of card. Queens are not really wanting to put themselves out there. Queens bring it to them. But this year, you're gonna have to really do some movement.
Okay, now Smooth Jazzy, who had asked about the way to get the books, which is mentioned earlier, and you can get all of Nina Diamond's books on Amazon. And we're going to touch on all of them before we end the segment tonight. But she's born September the 10th.
She's an ace of diamonds.
She's a diamond.
Yeah, she's an ace of diamonds. Like we talked earlier about the ace of diamonds in the collective, displacing that 5 of hearts. You want to really, for me, just have some fun, get out there and have some fun this year. If you're in a relationship right now, this would be a year of the ace of diamonds trying to cut and run. 5 of hearts, that's your Venus card. Ace of diamonds is a very interesting card when it comes to relationships. The partner that you have, your challenge is the 2 of diamonds. Your challenge is people. People are here. You're here to learn how to partner more with people. So this year, with you displacing the 5 of hearts, is a year where you just, it's like, I don't know about that. I don't know how much I want to partner with people. And what's real interesting is that your Pluto card is the Queen of Spades, and this your moon. So you be spending a lot of time down there in that 12th house. So you want to make sure that you are doing things that aren't going to make you doubt yourself, because the moon, that's your emotions. Pluto is already emotional. So this is a time where you're going to really have to hunker down and know your worth. You got to know your worth, because you could be trapped in a cycle of emotions that are not going to benefit you. And then you got the Jack of Spades, which is your Mercury that I talked about. So this is an initiation year for you. You're going through something that is beneficial for the collective. So think about it. It's beneficial for the collective. So imagine how great that could be if you are a part of the greater good, right? That's good.
Mm-hmm. Now, this Ace Rule, they're January 26th.
January 26th, another ace of diamonds.
Really?
Yeah, we got a
I
lot
see
of
like
ace
a
of
lot of
diamonds.
diamonds are predominating, huh?
A lot of diamonds in here.
And for all of you who are suggesting about ways of trying to get the sounds, much, much appreciated, because I just know every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 8, I'm on here, and it's not that I'm not doing the best I can. I am, but I'm not, this is not my strongest area like Simon. This is my buddy, but he resolved it, and you sound great. Okay. So this person, okay, let's see what we got now. Rainwater. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What about somebody born August the 20th? What are they?
August the 20th makes them 6 of clubs.
Oh, they're in the clubhouse. Club family, I should say.
Yeah, 6 of clubs. 6 of clubs is John the Baptist card. Very influential card for sure. Very influential card. This year you're displacing the 5 of spades. So, interesting. Because 6 of clubs, like all clubs and all teenagers, can be slow starters, but you're sitting in the house of one of the fastest cars in the deck. So I'm saying that you being challenged this year, and this is the collective. So remember, the 6 of clubs is the messenger. So with you just facing the five of spades this year, there's a lot that you're supposed to be talking about. And what is crazy is with your being the six of clubs is John the Baptist, your Mercury card is the Jack of Hearts, which is the Christ card. So I like to talk to you. This year for you is, oh my goodness gracious. Then you got the King of Hearts is your Venus card. So relationships. If you're in a relationship this year, yeah, you trying to get out of it. If you're not in a relationship, you ain't trying to be bothered with a relationship. But this is definitely a very interesting year for you. Very interesting. I wouldn't, if you are in a relationship, I wouldn't pull any pins this year because this is the energy that you're feeling. But
Now, when you
yes,
say you wouldn't pull any pins, what does that
I
mean?
wouldn't I wouldn't end my relationship because it's saying that the relationship is challenging you. But now in these days and times, I was married for 24 years. In these days and times, soon as people get challenged, they leave. You
That's
know,
true. That's
but
true. That's
but
true.
karmically, you still gonna meet that same energy. So you don't necessarily want to. I know that's hard for young people here. I don't have to stay. You don't have to stay, but you know the song, I guess I see you next lifetime. You gonna see that karma again. You don't have to stay. You came here to fulfill whatever it is you touched. So
That's
you
like Joe.
touched it.
No, that's like the famous boxer, heavyweight champion Joe Louis that says you can run, but you can't hide.
You can't hide because you touched it. You can't just say, I just don't want to do it no more. The universe is like, okay, but you're going to do it. You don't have to do it with this person, but this karma that you came here to resolve, you're going to resolve that karma, right?
Now, this person here says they are a queen of clubs. This is Yellow Soul, the creator.
They're queen of clubs. Yeah, we just talked about the Queen and Clubs. Very important year for you for sure. Definitely gonna be tested. Resources are gonna be tested for sure. I'm just saying across the board with the Queen of Clubs. So much interesting stuff going on. But it's definitely dealing with self-worth. It's dealing with you putting yourself out there more, taking more accountability. This is a year, queens are an interesting life path because they're here for service, but their service is in bringing things to the community, bringing things to the table, developing things. And this year, you're going to feel the pressure of that. You're going to feel the pressure of maybe feeling like you don't have the resources, but this isn't about you. So if you don't have the resources and you're called to do on something, I would look at how you got to where you are, because this is a year where you are going to have to. I'm just saying, people asking you for a lot this year,
Hmm.
right?
Well, what about Cheryl Herbs? They are October 8th. They said they believe they are Ace of Diamond.
October the 8th. Yeah, we got a lot of Ace of Diamonds in here.
Yeah. Must
Yeah.
be Diamond Day.
Yeah, Ace of Diamonds, very powerful year, like I said, but being mindful of your mental for Ace of Diamonds this year, I would just be very mindful of your mental, that moon energy that you have and that Mercury energy that you have. You don't want to go into any dark places this year. You want to avoid that as much as possible. You got heavy energy around you this year. And then you got the five of clubs sitting in your house, which is heavy. But the five of clubs leads you to the ace of hearts. So this is saying that you got to cultivate ways of creating space for yourself, right? You have to pour into yourself. It's like you need to do sound bowls, you need to do Reiki, you need to do things for yourself to cultivate yourself this year. You can't be mad at people because people ain't got nothing to do with what's getting ready to happen to you, right?
Well, you know what's interesting? Believe it or not, I'm reading this by Mark Matthews. He says, "Good evening, Lloyd and Nina. I'm totally new to cardology and still trying to grasp it stronger. I did some research and discovered that they too are an Ace of Diamond."
Yeah, Yeah, I
You
tell
know,
you,
all the above.
it's this, but this tells you the significance and the importance of who you are, because we have multiple cards, from the universe. So this is significant for the Ace of Diamonds. It is a card this year that's going through lots of transformations in the collective. So aces are new beginnings, right? And aces are ruled by Mars, and the Ace of Diamonds is a resource card. So what we're looking at in the United States is a lot of stuff going away, right? But it's also all of these aces and diamonds in here are telling us that there are new opportunities that are coming. So we have to. This it's a very transformative year, because they're stepping out into the Jack of Spades, and Jack of Spades is initiate, which is King Simon, who just showed us what to do.
Certainly did.
So
Certainly.
when we think about the ace of diamonds, when those opportunities get tough, you're in an initiation process. This is blowing my mind. It really is, Lloyd. I'm trying to keep up, but just reading all of these people's cards, I'm just seeing the whole scheme picture of everything that's happening out there. It's literally coming through the people who are on here right now.
Well, Dr. Cynthia asked an interesting question. Does your card change every year?
No, you're born with that card, it moves. So it doesn't change. You're going to
It
always get that
moves every
card.
year.
Every year you get a new 13, you get a hand. So we look at the hand, you're born with 13 cards, and every year it reshuffles. And you have 13 different cards, but you're always the leader of those cards.
Interesting. Interesting. Let's see what else we got here.
She said if Cardology, does everyone with the birthday have the same set of cards in their Cardology chart? They do, but because you're born an Aries, it changes from the person who is born a Libra. So it changes based on your planetary ruler, the sign you're born under.
Okay, good. We are going to go just a little bit more, if you don't mind. This is good. Thank you, Purple Rain. It said love both of us. Thank you very much for that. Purple Rain 42. All right. You have somebody. This is my brother's birthday. What card is this one?
11/14. That is no, that's close to my birthday, the 11/16. I always say it's my birthday because I had you on that day, right? I always tell
Yeah.
folks that's my birthday. So 11/14 makes you a six of clubs, another six of clubs. The messenger. Yeah, I'm just saying, this is just blowing my mind. The people that are here that are in tuned, because the six of clubs, it's the John the Baptist card. And we know that John the Baptist had a message. It came before the coming of the Christ. It was telling about the old going away and the new. But John the Baptist didn't follow what he was supposed to do, is minding somebody's business, worrying about who the king was having sex with, right? So
People
Jack
always get distracted. I swear they need
always
to
get
focus.
distracted. So this is a year with all of these six of clubs parking coming in here, and it's the space and the five of spades. This is very easy for you to get distracted, because the fives want to push through. So you're a six. So you're bringing in balance, and the five is disrupting that balance. It's a very karmic year for you. So the way you speaking and stuff like that, you got to be careful, because that five can get you in a lot of trouble this year. The five is supporting the shenanigans. Out of the five comes the six. You bring the balance, but that five is like, I don't want to balance. So if you find yourself argumentative, if you find people getting on your nerve, it's you. It ain't the people.
Okay, now
It's
here's
you.
the thing. If this person is born on November 14th, 9 days before the person would be born November the 5th, what day would they be? Would they still be under the same suit? Would that, I know a different number, would they be
They're,
under this?
yeah, they're November the 5th, you said?
Yes.
November the 5th is a two of diamonds.
Uh-huh.
So it goes it starts off in January with the spades, then it goes to the diamonds, the clubs. So each month it's a shift in the values. So
Right. Well,
spades end on July. So we don't have any spades after July, and clubs are all throughout the year, and then hearts start in June.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
interesting.
it's gonna be different.
Now, what about GJ? They are July 25th.
July 25th is a club. I know that it's a 5 of clubs. July 25th is a 5. Wait a minute, it's a 3 of clubs. July 25th is a 3 of clubs. Now, 3 of clubs is a very interesting card, and you know you're an interesting person if you're a 3 of clubs. The 3 of clubs is a war card, and we call it a war card because it's Mars Saturn. You know, 3 of clubs is something that says a set it off card, and because it's the 3 and it's a clubs, threes are ruled by Jupiter, and clubs are ruled by Mercury. So 3 of clubs is always got something going on up here. It's if they talking about bananas, you having a conversation with bananas, and next thing you like, how did we get here? 3 of clubs is not, however they are talking, Jupiter is gonna touch it and it's gonna expand and it's gonna grow. The 3 of clubs can go and go and go and go. They love to talk. They're the card of writing. It's my hidden energy. The question that you asked why I write so many books, because the 3 of clubs is the writer. So very, very astute card, very powerful card, but very misunderstood. 3 of clubs are very misunderstood.
I want to thank MJ for their donation. Magali is her name, born September 30th. So what card are they? Or she?
September 30 is a 7 of hearts.
Ah, the
And
child.
yeah, 7 of hearts is a rare card. Hearts are rare. 7 of hearts in cardology is called the card of boundaries and a card of allowing. It's a very spiritual card, very blessed card, but it can be a very difficult card. As a heart, they tend to want to please people. Tend to want to, they may overstate things, and they want to please people. So, that's why boundaries are very important for you, because you can't please everybody and you got to start with pleasing yourself first. Now, we
Amen.
just had a 7 of hearts year, right? There's a 9 of hearts year. So the year before last was the 7 of hearts year. So if I was you, I would go back and from January to December and see what significant happened in the 7 of hearts, which was 2023 for you.
Interesting. Now this is Queen D. We'll take just about 3 or 4 more, and then I'll let you go because we're going. But I had to make up for this, and then we're going to talk about your books, the banner, and then we'll do. So Queen D is born on June the 20th. What card is she?
Another 10 of clubs.
Clubs. So
Yeah,
diamonds
another
and
10 of
clubs
clubs.
seem to predominate tonight's show.
Always, right? 10 of clubs. So yeah, you're 10 of clubs. We talked about that earlier.
Okay. Now here's another question. They says with Cardology, does everyone with the same birthday have the same set of cards in their Cardology chart?
Yeah, that's the one I answered. Yes, it's based on your planetary ruler. So if you're born now, you're Aries. So that's what changes you from the other person born if they were born Virgo. So it changes based on that.
Now, would it change on the ages too? For example, if you got an 8 of diamond that's like 10 years old, another one that's 35 years old, another one that's 55 years old, would that shade it because of the years that have gone by, or the spread, as you call it?
Yeah, it would change it based on, change based on that. But the most significant change is the sign that they're born under.
Okay.
Because the 8 of diamonds that's a Capricorn is going to be much different than the 8 of diamonds that is a Gemini, right? So that changes the energy.
What about this person here, June 29th? They said they think they're a club card.
June 29th, they are
June the 29th.
Ace of clubs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we talked about the Ace of clubs. I think it was June 29th, wasn't it?
I think so too. It sounded familiar. What about 829 though? I don't think we just talked about that one. DMB.
829 is an eight of hearts. And we talked about that with the four of hearts displacing that eight of hearts. Very eight of hearts is a very charismatic card, you know, it being Saturn rules eights, and then it's a heart. This is called a Playboy Playgirl card. They're very smooth, you know, very attractive people. They are very just an all around attractive energy. This year you're displacing the four of spades. For you, you know, hearts and spades can you know, intertwine pretty well, but it being Jupiter and Venus is definitely representing your job, your relationships and stuff like that. So relationships this year, you want to really look, be mindful of what you touch with dealing with that four of spades, because the four of spades is the card of living your best life. But living your best life this year, you may be you and as an eight of hearts, you very, like I said, very charismatic. You don't want to overshoot yourself this year. You know what I mean? It's like you
Mhm.
living your best life is something that you could shoot for, but the challenges are how you express yourself. You know what I mean? It's like that whole thing with clubs and diamonds and hearts and spades, it gets very complicated because you're eight of hearts and your challenging karma cards are 10 of clubs, right? So your expression this year, and hearts are very sensitive. So how you express yourself this year can open a lot of doors for you.
Interesting. Our last one is Letitia and Ramos. They are January 17th.
10 of diamonds, one of the most influential cards in the deck. That's Steve Harvey's card. 10 of
That's
diamonds
Muhammad
is.
Ali's card too.
Yeah, Ten of Diamonds is a very influential card. Is Jupiter, Jupiter, but it has a lot of karma attached to it. You know, you
That's interesting.
it yeah, it deals with a lot of mental. You know, it has the Queen of Clubs as a challenging karma card, and the Queen of Spades as this supporting karma card. But it's a very influential. It's Prince's card too, right? Very influential card, but it deals with a lot of mental. You
Well, I
know.
have two last minute donations, so I do want to show them respect if you don't mind. That's the Barrel 88. Can you tell me what card I have, please? They are born February the 5th. Wouldn't they be in the Diamond
February
League?
February the 5th is a seven of spades.
They're in the spades.
Yeah, they have
What would
seven of
that mean to this
spades.
person? And by the way, thanks so much for the donation, please.
Yeah, that's that spiritual card I talked about earlier. Seven of spades is a very powerful card. They're transforming into the eight of diamonds, which is the sun. Very influential card. Business minded card, you know, powerhouse card. And we're dealing spiritually because like I said to the other person, the seven of spades is an ancestor card. So you have to learn how to ground yourself. You definitely got to learn what ancestor veneration is. You got to be protected at all times. Seven of spades, like, is a card of accidents and cutting. That's Lloyd Strayhorn's Mercury card. So think about how he speaks and how he is doing what he is doing. He's doing it from that understanding. You know, the giving part of that seven of spades. So for me in the collective this year, the seven of spades again is displacing the 10 of clubs. So this is a very this card is saying that over the next 5 years in the collective, you know, if you want to retire, you should be able to retire, right?
Wow. One and the last one for the donation, and this it. And thank you, January the 12th. I think we did touch on that.
Yeah, that's a two of spades.
Well, for their donation, could you just kind of just critique it a bit one more time, please, if you don't
The,
mind?
the two of spades this year, you have the jack of clubs sitting in your house, and you're just spacing you're spacing the jack of diamonds. This is initiation year for you. Both of those cards are very much a part of your spread. But the two of spades is not an outside card. Jacks are outside. So two of spades is a card that did, you know, it's a very spiritual card, but it's not a card that lots a lot of mixy mixy. But the Jack of Clubs this year and the collective is initiating you into a higher calling. So you will be put in situations and stuff like that where it's going to challenge you.
All right. Listen, thank you. Now, this is her banner and please support Nina Dunham. She's a cardologist extraordinaire. That's what I really should have put. She's a teacher extraordinaire, a lecturer, all the extraordinary. So I should have put extraordinary behind all these titles here today. Her YouTube is Diamond8. Her TikTok is Nina Dunham. Her IG is Diamond_8. There is no more Clubhouse. So that will be deleted next time. And for her Cash App, though, that's current. And please, because she, like all of us, we just do this because of a love of doing it and helping humanity. But it'd be nice to show her some love too. And so please send whatever you can to Cash App $Uranus 157. And before we close it, we gotta show your books up one more time and just touch on them, and it'll be nice.
And I made a mistake when I didn't look at that because it's diamonds with the S_8. So for Instagram.
Let me do this. What is it again?
Diamonds with the S for Instagram _8.
Okay, I'll make sure I make that correction. All right. And maybe have you back on the next couple of months too, to see what else you crank out. Okay. If you cranking them out this year. Okay. And these are her books. Now she's had prior books. I've had those on, but she's just, this is her first book that was published late last year on Aquarius Maxima's birthday on November the 16th. This is a Reiki book. Oh, let me get the banner off so there's not a conflict. All right. So people can see it. Also, the next one was her Cardology 2025 planner. And this was published back on December the 15th of 1924 last year. And then this is one I want to get into. This was published on January the 28th of this year, unveiling. This is amazing piece of work. This is an affirmation. This to cover all 365 days, and that was just published. And in fact, that's the last birthday we read, February the 5th, which is interesting. And so then the next one was the Strongholds, rather. That was published on March the 8th. And just the last one this year is about dealing with deck of realities too. So all I'm saying is, Nina, amazing work. And thank you so much. Bless you.
I want to let them know that I have a free book club we do every Saturday. The next book is Deck of Reality. So you get that book and we're reading that book. We do the book club every other Saturday, and I have a study.
How do they get a hold of you? Is it on your banner?
And I just put the link in the 11 University to sign up for the book club and to sign up for the workbook with my Cardology workbook. I teach from that workbook because that's why I made that workbook, and it's free. All you have to do is buy the workbook and then you come to the class. But you can call me, or text me or whatever to find out. That's the main two things that I'm doing is my book club, because these are all cardology, astrology, and numerology books. And I find that people
Do you want to give you a number right quick?
470
470
775 6434 and just text me. That's to text me if you want to book a reading or anything like that. Text me at that number. But
text her. Notice what she said. Text her, please. Okay, yeah, the woman is busy.
The phone doesn't ring, so I won't hear it anyway. But I do check the texts. But when you the book club is the Deck of Realities. This is full blown. All of my books are full blown cardology, numerology, and astrology. So I'm writing these books so we can really have discussions. And we're well past Pluto's in Aquarius right now, and Uranus rules metaphysics. We're well past all. We want to get into the nuts and bolts of what makes us tick. So that's what the books are.
And Pluto's going to be sitting in Aquarius until 2044. So it just started kicking in. Ain't even been a year yet. But anyway, love you much, Diamond. And you take good care. All
You
right,
too.
Nina.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Thank you. This
Peace.
was great. And listen, it shows you what happens when two diamonds hang in there. We did it. Okay.
We don't have no choice.
All right, everybody.
Saturn.
I need to thank her. I got to thank Empress Ralph for staying way over time, but I got to be honest with all my sponsors too. I got to make honorable mention to them because they support the show. And by the way, also Nicholas Brooklyn out of 1396 Fulton Street. Uh, she is having this particular Saturday, Queen of Four, on the 5th from 12 noon to 5 p.m. Queen of Four is one of my favorite ladies also. So for those of you who want to know about detoxing, for those of you who have challenges with the reproductive system and things of that nature, this is the go-to person right here, Queen of Four. So she's going to be at 1396 on Fulton Street this particular Saturday, coming Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. And then Miss Kimberly, Manifest on Purpose. She does this twice a week with weekly wisdom and astronumerology reveal and a couple other things. And by the way, her forte, she's developing a forte, which is the numerology business aspect. So for those of you who have businesses, I think a couple of you in the comment section said that you are having businesses or whatever the case is, but if you want to know how to metaphysically make it run. And the reason why I said is this: when JP Morgan in his day, the famous financier who died in 1913, and to this day, over 100 years later, JP Morgan Bank still exists. When asked the question, does astrology make millionaires? He says no, it makes billionaires. And what he did was he consulted an astrologer at that time, Evangeline Adams, in her book, Bowl of Heaven, where she explains in her biology, whatever it is, not the biology, but her bio. Anyway, she explained it. She taught the man. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So for those of you who want to get a more metaphysical bent on starting a business, this is the way to go. And also, last but not least, my wow, it's most amazing. Numeralytics and Biz, and they have a sponsor for it. And by the way, Jazz Aphrodite has her book on sale. It's available on audio now, but also you can purchase it by going to Jazz Aphrodite. That's where you go, get it directly. I'm blessed because I bought both the hardcover and the soft cover of this book. It's great, the feel of the cover, and then the contents of the book. In fact, my original numerology group from last summer is using this now for their book club. They formed a book club, and this is what they're reading. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied at this point. Anyway, but also for Numeralytics, for those of you, they will give a 20% discount that ends on Jazz Aphrodite's birthday, which is April the 20th, okay? So with that said, it's been an interesting evening. And to King Simon, bless you, brother. Bless you very much. Save the day. That's why he's my man. But anyway, he's my man anyway. And we're like brothers. And next week, he's having something on the 27th here at Nicholas Brooklyn. And I'll make that announcement on Monday first thing. Everybody, thank you very much for hanging in there. And you'll all have a nice day, a nice weekend. And please be safe. Oh, by the way, please, I keep doing this too. The April newsletter is now out, okay? And so it's absolutely free. You go to linktree/numbers and you to sign up, or go to lloyd-strayhorn.com and sign up. We do not sell your mailing list. If I do advertise something, it's something I am doing. And if you want to hear the audio version, that is now out. So all you got to do is go to YouTube, KIMBALEY. That's KIMBALEY_. And you will hear the forecast. And what I sound like during the sessions and what the newsletter is like two different species. So it's very interesting, okay? And what I'm doing also is on the 20th, I'm having an open house. So all of the people who I don't see until after I hang up, they're calling their birthdays, well, we're going to have an open session where people can actually come in and get their questions answered. And I'll spend some time with them, because when I have it on the shows, I have to be very brief but this way I can extend. And so by reading people or answering questions, there's going to be a learning and session at the same time too. All righty. And then on the 22nd, to end it, I will be teaching the art of palmistry, and then be looking at hands. For example, this was the example of a hand I gave yesterday, and show you everybody's hands are different. Like, look at this thumb. See how long that thumb is? That's unusual. So all these things, you're going to learn about the importance of the thumbs, the nails, the hands, the fingers, the lines, all that stuff. But all of that will be available. And so if you want to, click on the QR code and join me on the 22nd. Okay. I think I am done. You all have a nice day. Bless you. And you all take good care. All righty. So let me do this. Let me sign off properly. Bye-bye.